we believe we have addressed a lot of our needs. As all the Gamecocks know, we lost 3 starting defensive linemen, Jadavion Clowney, Chaz Sutton, Kelsey Quarles, and we have signed, I think, 7 defensive linemen. And obviously getting Dexter Weidman here about an hour ago or so was a big pickup, certainly for us. But these other players are very good players also. And another need was defensive back, defensive corner, especially with Victor and Jimmy Legree, one being a senior, one leaving early. We need to replace those players. So we've picked up right now, I think, 4 to 5 defensive back type players that will come in and compete with the guys we got to play that position next year. 8 guys on offense, and we think we've got some good ones that are going to fill in. We lost Bruce Ellington and Ronald Patrick, and the best quarterback to ever play here, Connor Shaw. So that's probably an area we got to replace, and we think Dylan Thompson knows an excellent player that will really help us. So overall, is I think a very good class. We're thrilled with all these guys. We think they're going to fit in very well, and we got a chance to have continued success here at South Carolina. Open up.
Steve, given your needs at cornerback and on the defensive line, was this a case where you were recruiting guys specifically to maybe come in here and play this fall?
Possibly. We got a lot of good players here. At the start of the last year, we were the youngest team in Division I football. I only had 4 seniors on the team. So they've departed, as well as 4 players that left early. So there is some opportunity for these freshmen to play. We'll let them earn it as they go, but there's a good chance some of them could play a bunch next year.
Steve, you had a couple of guys turn your way today on this last day. How much does that mean to you, and does it give you, maybe make the class a little bit stronger? Certainly,
it makes it stronger. Right now, all the paper we've sent out has come back with a signature on it. Hasn't always been that way. A lot of times these guys at the end, you don't know which direction they're going, but we certainly were thrilled that all these players we thought we had a shot at decided to come with us, certainly.
Winning helps recruiting. Recruiting helps winning. It's a strong cycle now. And we go back to about 4 or 5 years ago, that initial class that really came with us, Stephon Gilmore, Devontae Holloman, those guys that really made a difference and really kind of pushed it over the edge on future guys coming here and playing and helping us win. But certainly to have won 11 in the last 3 years, the exposure we've gotten, players know if they come to South Carolina, they can play at the highest level. And they want to know that. That's important in recruiting. And every house we go into, we turn that sheet over that's got all our accomplishments, what we've done, and it's an impressive list. So it's certainly helped us.
Steve Jr., how excited were the defensive coaches about this group of defensive players, and just how will these guys be able to fit into what the success has been the last few years?
Yeah, well, the offense coaches were pretty happy about it too. Our biggest needs, D-line and secondary, and to sign 7 D-linemen and hopefully 4 or 5 secondary players that we really think are exceptional players means a lot to this class. If we miss on 3 or 4 of those guys, sort of like last year with linebackers. Last year coming down that final stretch, if we don't sign 1 or 2 of those linebackers, we're going to be hurting. So the guys we've signed in that class mean a lot to this class. We're looking forward to getting all of them here in June and getting them ready to play.
I also want to say our coaching staff did an excellent job recruiting this season, as well as our players. Our players serve as hosts when the guys come, and they do a super job. And also Robbie Lyles, our on-campus recruiting coordinator. Robbie does a super job of travel arrangements and so forth. And our professors on campus, they really do an excellent job telling the players about our academics here and so forth. So it was a team effort, and we've got a lot of good players. We're not going to be number 1 in the country. The same team's always number 1 in the country. If you watch TV all day, sometimes you wonder how in the world these teams are ever going to lose. They get all these 5 stars and this, that, and the other. But I think this group is, a lot like most of our groups here. We've signed a lot of good, solid players, and our strength coach here, Joe Connolly, and his staff are as good as anybody in the country. And I think our coaching staff's as good as anybody. So the players come with a good good attitude and want to develop to be the best they can be, then certainly we can compete with anybody.